Welcome to the Cozzo Radio Show!
Welcome to the Cozzo Show. We are back January 28th, 2025. Now, I woke up this morning and it's a common theme what I've been thinking about, but today I said I'm going to change it. And it's how I deal with the amount of time and what I do with it during the day, right? Because we all have the exact same amount of time, 24 hours, every single one of us. And what defines whether or not you have a better day than me or it's a better day for yourself, right? It's what we do in those 24 hours. Now, obviously, people aren't born intelligent. So if you want to be an intelligent person, you are going to use your time wisely and do things to enhance, say, your IQ, to enhance the possibility of getting into a good college or getting a great job or making a lot of money, right? What you do in that 24 hours will determine that. And again, since we all have the exact same amount of time, you look at people that are achieving greatness in their life, like Elon Musk. What is he doing in the 24 hours? You know, you think he's hanging out watching HBO all day long? Of course not. You know, those are only things that dummies like you and I do during the day, or Netflix, you know, or someone like me who takes their dog for a walk 10 miles a day when I have no position to be having a dog if I'm trying to, you know, work on myself. I love my dog, right? But I'm just not in a position, to be honest with you, if I'm trying to achieve greatness. It's hard to do that when you have a working German Shepherd living in a one-bedroom apartment and you have to care to that dog all the time. What would be really convenient, and because I love animals so much, is if I had a 20-acre piece of land that I lived on in North Carolina. Yeah, that would be something great. And then I could have 10 dogs. But the thing is what are you doing? So I'm trying to figure out, like, how am I going to do that? And again, studying people like a Jeff Bezos, when you see those videos and he's like, I've been sitting here for 17 hours a day, 18 hours a day, and he's delivering the books literally by himself, right? If you want to be great, you got to do the work. That's what these guys are doing. You know, anything that's great, like a Larry David or a Jerry Seinfeld, yeah, they talk about being lazy or they have shows that are lazy, but they had to create the show. They actually had to do the work. They had to sit down and actually write the script. And to me, defining greatness is, you know, how you define greatness is how much work is that person willing to put in to be the best. Whether it's an athlete, a musician, an artist, you know, anyone that is at the top of their craft is someone that's been putting that time in. And again, it goes back to the 24 hours. What are you actually doing? Because if you're just going to be dumb and stupid, right, you pay for that. That costs you. The currency of time, you're paying top dollar because that's something that you're never getting back. There's no returns. Like, you know, there's no refund on that. You know, you can't go to the store and say, can I get my money back? Can I get that time back? No. So if you keep wanting to be stupid and dumb, just keep doing it, but don't complain about it. I'm complaining about it. I'm trying to do something different. You know, the thing that I'm like with, I said about my dog, I have too much of guilt. So when I'm gone, I know this dog, you know, and he's, again, a working German Shepherd, 111 pounds, just dog is like in love with me, follows me everywhere. And I know when I'm out that the dog's missing me and I feel so guilty, like it's a person. It's so crazy. And then I got to go home early for the dog. That's not the way, you know, I already did that with a kid. Now I'm doing it with a dog. I don't understand how I got into this, but I do it. And then once you love the dog, that's it. But I'm telling you this, if you are single and you're sitting there saying, you know what, I'm a little lonely, maybe a dog will help. No. Really do a deep dive before you get it. First of all, if you have an apartment, do not get a Belgian Malinois or a Dutch or German Shepherd or any of those working, you know, breeds. Don't do it. Get a dog. They'll sit on that couch. and just sit there like a bulldog. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I could deal with a bulldog because they can't walk. Can't go walk a bulldog. You gotta, it's like almost like walking slowly with the bulldog. That's really boring outside. I see these people doing it. I'm like, why'd you get this dog? I love all dogs. But some dogs, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing here. So anyway, let's get into the show here. I wanted to play this clip. And again, it's of Tom Homan, who I just cannot get enough of this guy. But last night, let me explain what happens. He gets on Fox News with Sean Hannity, and the cartel was retaliating towards the federal agents, and there was gunfire going back and forth. Listen to the message. Again, listen to the message that Tom Homan, right, is sending to the cartels. Now, let's set the scene. You're at the cartels. You're in Nicaragua. You're in Colombia. You are in Mexico, wherever you are. Just the whole look of it, right? They're sitting there. They're playing cards. They're maybe in the wife beater, right? Bullets, guns, that kind of guns over their chest, smoking cigarettes, drinking whatever they're drinking, tequila, and they're playing, and they got mounds of cocaine behind them, bricks loaded up, and they're just sitting there. But they got the TV on, right? They're thinking life is good. And also they got the TV on. And you see Tom Homan say this. Crazy.
They've taken gunfire, and it's going to get worse, Sean, because President Trump's going to seal that border. He's going to put the cartels out of business. He declared them a terrorist organization. We got the whole of government is going to dismantle these people and wipe them off the face of the earth. They're not going to go lightly. We're taking them out of the trafficking business. We're taking them out of the smuggling business. We're taking them out of the dope business. There's going to be more violence on the southwest border. That's why Trump committed to calling the terrorist organization. He has. That's why the entire United States government is going to take care of those people and abolish them. We're going to attack them not just in Mexico, but in the 42 countries that Jalisco cartel is currently residing in. The Trump administration is going to take them on just like he did the caliphate, and we're going to destroy them.
This guy was it's like one jab after another. Bam, 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 bam. You couldn't even, you're in a dizzy spell on what he's saying there. We're going to destroy them. We're going to abolish them. It doesn't matter. I don't care how many countries you're in. 41 countries. We're flying in with helicopters, parachutes. Here we go. Navy SEAL. We're going to destroy you. That's it. Now, again, imagine if you're now part of that cartel, you're just hanging out and you watch him say that. The whole mood changes. Everything is changed. Whatever you thought you guys were going to do, you were relaxing, things are good, money's just pouring in. Who knows? Girls everywhere, sex trafficking. I don't know what these lunatics are doing, because that's what they are. They're all lunatics. And Tom Homan comes on the screen, starts saying that. You're done. These guys, you don't understand. These Navy SEALs will go in there and it'll be lights out like that. Night-night. Slicing throats, take it, one thing after the other. Everybody's getting arrested. Everybody's done. I love it. I can't get enough of it. But now you see that, right? And for me, you see how giddy basically I am. I love it. This is it. I said I cannot get enough of it. But then here's how you have, people are so different, right? Here I am on this spectrum, loving all of it. I want them all gone. Every single one deported out of here tonight. Actually spread it out to better, because I love this TV. But then you have somebody like Selena Gomez, right? Watch what she says. She posts this on her Instagram or X and talking about Trump deporting these illegals. Watch.
I just want to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
What are you going to try? Try everything with what? You can't do anything. You're a nobody. I don't care what. First of all, that doesn't even look like Selena Gomez. She must have had a lot of work done. And I could use work, but I'm not getting any work done, right? That girl, I don't know. I don't know why she got work done, but she got work done. I think she's pretty young too, but it didn't come out good. That's where you go and get a refund. You can't do it. There's no refund. That's the thing. Once you start playing, you go down that plastic surgery game with these lips and their face starts to look like concrete, doesn't move, the forehead doesn't move, the cheeks. And then you all of a sudden, right? They have to know before they got the surgery and started the procedures that there's a certain look, there's an end game. They all look the same with the fish lips and that, I don't know, frog face, right? So you sit there and you have to say before you go to the doctor and before you start doing it, because that's the thing, once they start, they get addicted to it. It's like crack. Once they start doing it, they have to understand the end game is that look, the frog look, the whatever look, the bad look. I got to tell you, right around the corner. Right around the corner on that look, what we just saw there. I mean, Jesus. All right, anyway, moving on. Jim Acosta. This is great. This is classic stuff right here. CNN's Jim Acosta is calling it quits after 18 years, right? So he goes on and he does his sign off today on CNN. Watch this video of him signing off, then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Here we go. Here's Jim Acosta.
One final message. Don't give in to the lies. Don't give in to the fear. Hold on to the truth and to hope. Even if you have to get out your phone, record that message. I will not give in to the lies. I will not give in to the fear. Post it on your social media so people can hear from you too. I'll have more to say about my plans in the coming days, but until then, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. It has been an honor to be welcomed into your home for all these years. That's the news. Reporting from Washington, I'm Jim Acosta.
Bro, you're not Andrew Tate. You're not Donald Trump that you're going to tell people to do something. Videotape yourself and then post it on social media. No, nobody's listening to you. You got 10 followers. That's why. The reason why you're leaving, and here, this is from the Economic Times. They report that CNN anchor Jim Acosta is reportedly leaving the network after he was officially pulled from its programming schedule. Last week, the anchor's 10 a.m. slot on the network was replaced with the Situation Room with Wolf Blitzer. At the time, there was no official word where Acosta would fit in, but the network apparently asked him to take a graveyard shift. Yo, man, when you say graveyard shift at a network, nobody's watching. You want to know why? Because everybody's sleeping. So you're there for 18 years, and then you got asked to go went from a 10 a.m. slot, where people are actually home, some people working remote, whatever it is that they're doing, elderly people that are retired, whatever it is, 10 a.m., that's one thing. But you're at the graveyard shift at midnight, nobody's watching you. So it says here, with a midnight program just days before President Trump's inauguration, according to the New York Post. I'll tell you exactly what happened, okay? He's not going to be able to really report or do anything with Donald Trump because Donald Trump hates him and embarrassed him, and there's nobody watching him. No one wants to watch Jim Acosta anymore because of what took place like 4 or 5 years ago. And here's the clip. If you're someone that never saw this before, watch what Donald Trump does to Jim Acosta. Oh, God, it is just classic.
But your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and so on. Well, that's true. But
they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood. Right. These were people. This was an actual, it happened a few days ago. And
they're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that that you may have.
I'm not concerned about anything with
that you
the
may have
Russian
indictments coming
investigation
down.
because it's a hoax.
Are you-
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
Yo, that's a smackdown right there. I have to give it to Jim Acosta, though, the audacity to keep talking. But that's because at that moment in time, nobody had respect for Donald Trump because of the propaganda that was going on. You're not getting away with that now. No one's even daring doing that now because of the majority. That's the difference in Trump in 2016 to Trump now, because now there's a mandate. If you don't win the popular vote, you'll have the opposition party. They always have that leg to stand on, that they think that they're in the majority. But once you win the Electoral College and the popular vote like Trump did here, that's it. That's it. Now, the legacy media, they are in the minority. And that's why they have to shut up. And I got to tell you the truth. Why not want to make money? It's a dying business. That's why everybody's listening to podcasts. Everybody's listening to people like Tucker Carlson, or listening to people like Joe Rogan, or whatever it is, Lex Friedman. There's so many people, there's so many options now out there instead of having to just sit there being a slave to MSNBC or CNN or even Fox News, which is another dirtbag station. I mean, I like a lot of the people on there, like Jesse Waters. I'm not a big Hannity guy. It just doesn't do it for me. Once it was Tucker, and then Hannity came on. Hannity was gone. I love Laura Ingraham, love them, but I don't love the network. And I don't like what the network stands for in any of the legacy media. And I think you're going to see a shift soon. You're going to see new newspapers forming. I think that would be a genius thing to do, if you want my opinion, is have a newspaper, start a new one of these hedge fund guys or whatever it may be, and have just objective journalists that come on, like Matt Taibbi. Have him come on as a journalist and pay him a good salary and just be objective, right? And I think that people would gravitate towards that type of newspaper as opposed to, say, the New York Times, which it's all skewed. It's so slanted to the left. Even the Washington Post, of course, now that they're trying to be different, because why? Jeff Bezos owns the paper and he wants to have some type of favoritism in this administration because he wants grants for his space program. That's why. He wants that federal grant money. He's competing with Elon Musk and SpaceX. It's 2 + 2 = 4 type of stuff here that we see. Once Trump is gone and then a Democrat wins, they'll jump ship and go right and do whatever the Democrats want. It's just about money. Again, all of these big corporations, they don't care about anything but just no regulations. Give us your money. Free money, right? Grants, whatever it may be. So, you watch Jim Acosta, the irony of the whole thing is he's lies to your teeth about everything and he's saying his goodbyes on a network that has no credibility, but he's trying to tell you what to do. Who's buying it? And again, if you're these networks, you have to understand that your bottom line, the reason why you're in business is to make money. If you're not making money, right, then something is wrong. And if there's something wrong, why aren't you fixing it? It's just the business model in general is just failing. If you want to be in the news service, you have to have credibility. That's all it is. You're a journalist, a news reporter. When I graduated in college in journalism. And that was the number one thing, is your credibility. You have to be transparent. You can't ever be caught in a lie, because then nobody's going to believe anything that you're saying when they're reading your stuff. Same thing as a podcaster. That's why when you see these people that are lying through their teeth, it's hard to then justify anything else at all. That's why people hate politicians, because they know they're just being lied to constantly, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, it really is something else. I want to play this, though, for you here. This is a crazy story. Let's switch topics. Jim Acosta, goodbye. Good luck. What are you going to do? Nobody's following you. You're going to be like Don Lemon. That's it. You're done. Nobody's going to listen to you. You're not going to have a podcast and all of a sudden you're going to start going high in the rankings. And in my opinion, I don't know, anybody listening to that jerk off is just an idiot. Anyway, listen to this here. This is a rapper from Detroit. Can't make this stuff up. All right. This is according to the Detroit Metro Times. A Michigan civil rights law firm filed a lawsuit against Lyft after one of its drivers refused to give a ride to a Detroit woman because of her weight. Rapper Dank DeMoss called the Lyft for a ride home to watch a football game after her cousin's house. And the driver rolled up, and here is what took place. She's on this news station here. Listen to her describe. Now, watch how obese she is. We'll talk about it. You may sit there and maybe agree with her or maybe whatever, but we'll chop it up when we're done here because I got a lot to say.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in this car.
Hold on. I have to stop it. And I apologize. Because when the reporter says, she already knew. And I was like, oh man. Well, if that's the case, then we're all leaning towards what the driver was saying. If you already knew what, right? You already knew. Like if I'm trying to have sex with my girlfriend and I'm making moves, the girl now knows what I'm trying to do. She's saying in her head, you know, I already knew he was going to come in. He was going to do this. I could already tell, right? Well, that means there's some indication of that going on or in the past. So this guy's not novel to what he's doing here, this driver. It's not a new thing if she already knew. I mean, come on, stop with this nonsense. All right, let me just play it.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in this car.
Believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires, you know, like it really hurt my feelings.
It looks like Lyft might be hurting pretty soon, too.
I knew it was illegal, and I knew that it was wrong.
Her attorneys, John Marco and Zach Runyon, say weight is a protected characteristic in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my car, or I don't want to have Christians in my car, or Muslims in my car.
Well, first, she weighs almost 500 pounds. Okay, let's get that out of the way here for a second. 500 pounds. That's almost, you know, could be 4 people, could be 4 girls, right? Could be almost 5 people, could be 5 petite girls going in the car. So if you're a Lyft driver, you're thinking that you're picking up 1 person in your cargo in the back there, but now you got 5? I mean, the thing is this. That's not the news. The news, what should be doing, somebody should be whispering in her ear and saying, hey, listen, you want to live a nice, long life? You know, maybe you should lose some weight. I don't know. Nobody's going to tell her that, though. The news is this driver didn't want her to go in there. Now, going back to the law, and this guy's making comparison about white or black or religion, you know, if the person's a Christian or not, that doesn't hold any weight. That comparison doesn't jive with me. And I'm an attorney, and I'll tell you why and how I would rebut that. Your race doesn't have a hindrance on how the car's performance could possibly be and what could possibly happen to the car. I don't know. You put 500 pounds in a car and you got low profiles like this car may have, maybe that will affect it. I don't know. I have no idea. But that's a 500-pound load that's going in the car. Also, maybe his seats are bucket seats and he thinks they may break. Now, what happens if they did break because of that? Can he sue her because she was overweight and broke the seat? Probably not. He's out of luck. Listen, I don't think that this guy's out of his right to be like, hey, listen, we can't do that. I mean, think about where those girls that were on the airplane and had dressed a certain way. And I think there's just a new guideline that came out now, right? About if you dress a certain way, an airline won't have to put you onto their plane. they have a certain dress code or anything? What about when people were having the Trump things and they were told, or MAGA, and they were told to remove it or they had to get off the plane? I mean, was that okay to do that? How is this guy not on his rights to be like, hey, listen, you weigh 500 pounds. I think my car's going to break here and I can't sue you. See ya. Peace. I'm out. I don't know. And now Lyft is going to give this so-called rapper a fat check. Yeah. That guy did that. Anyway, all right, listen. One more thing that I wanted to bring up before we go here. You have Tulsi Gabbard. She's trying to get into being the Director of National Intelligence. And there's some, right now, I guess there's some rift between even Republicans not wanting her to go in there, because one of the things is because she wants to pardon Julian Assange. And me, or should I say Snowden. And me personally, I think they both should be pardoned. 1,000%. Those guys, in my opinion, are heroes. Julian Assange uncovered what Hillary Clinton was actually doing. Why are we now hurting people that are putting out the truth and exposing lies? And the same thing with Snowden. What he did, yes, you're saying, oh, it was acts of treason. But what about the treason that he was telling on and what the government was doing to private citizens and their privacy? That doesn't trump that? I mean, come on. But she's going to have a tough time. RFK will probably have a tough time too. If these are Republicans, real Republicans, and again, I said this many times, this is the difference between Democrats and Republicans. They don't stay the line. Trump has a mandate, and you have to trust the mandate. And the people want this. But you're going to have people like Lindsey Graham, and they're going to go showboating and doing whatever. It's not good for the party. It's not good for the country, in my opinion, because the country voted for Donald Trump. But we'll see what happens there. All right. Anyway, what do we have here? January 28th in the books. If you get a chance, subscribe to the channel, like the channel, comment on we're on YouTube, on Rumble. The videos are also on X. The videos are on there. I love X. I have to tell you, I'm all over it. I'm not on Instagram a lot. Sometimes I'll get caught in the vortex of the Reels. TikTok too. I get caught in the TikTok vortex. But man, you go on Twitter or X, should I say, and even their videos and that algorithm there, it's crazy. I love it. I love it. Elon Musk. I mean, he is king shit. There's nobody. Well, Donald Trump's the most famous person, I think, in the history of the planet, except for Jesus Christ, obviously. But the history of this planet, besides Jesus Christ, it's Donald Trump, and it's because he is obviously around with social media and AI and what AI is able to do. And you're seeing all the memes of him. It's crazy. I love it. All right. That being said, we're out.